Alright, hello and welcome to Show of Hands Hangout number. We lost track of numbers and haven't gotten around to renumbering yet. Um, we have familiar faces and then one in the background who's lurking and less familiar. So I'll have you quick introduce yourself, say who you are on the app, what you'd like us to call you, and Ron's gonna have a question for you.
Yeah, and the intro question for today is, what kind of shoes did you wear today?
Ooh, I whipped out the bad boys today.
I whipped out the, no.
You gotta wait,
I gotta wait. Gotta wait, I have to wait.
All right, James, you go first.
My name is JamesOuk on the app. It goes JamesOuk. It's spelled differently though. Oak is O-U-K. And for the shoes, I whipped out the good old Jordan retro ones today.
Ooh, very classy.
Yeah, I love these. These are bad. Bad to the bone.
All right, and are you going to introduce yourself in the
Oh
background?
yeah, this is.
My name is Herlin. I don't have a show of hands, but I do use his from time to time, and I whipped out the bad boy Kyries today, if you can see him.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Arlen, are you the friend who stole James's phone for the one question that?
No. That was.
It might have been. If it was something really bad, probably.
It could. No, I remember who that was.
What was the question?
Mitch. That was Mitch.
What was the question?
Yeah, well, do you remember what it was? James's best question?
It was something like inappropriate.
The one?
There we go.
James remembers what it was.
I don't quite remember what it was. It was something sexual though.
It might have been me. I put something sexual in yours before.
It could have been.
It was something about your thoughts on anal.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Something with anal?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, then it was probably me. Probably.
This is James's friend who's on, and we were wondering if it was the same guy. Gonna say hi?
Oh, hi, friends.
Howdy.
Howdy, how you doing?
I'm really tired. I'm going to bed. So.
Well, your presence will be missed today.
Yeah. Did you get a haircut, Ron?
I did. I got all aerodynamic. I'm headed to the beach next week, and didn't want to have to worry about the hair while I was on
They
the
didn't
boat.
fucking fill my video. Oh.
Are you sporting your new bathing suit?
No, I had my Mexico, Speedo, and but this is a family trip, so we'll be well covered for this trip.
Oh, we're not planning on expanding the family.
No. The mother-in-law, she has no need to see the Mexico bathing suit. So.
Yeah, you don't want to cause her to fall down again.
No, exactly. I wouldn't want her to throw a hip or anything like that. So no, we'll be very rated PG.
Oh, perfect.
Exactly. Shut the fuck up.
Burrito.
Burrito from where?
Howdy.
Did you make the burrito, James, or did you get it from somewhere?
It's a Chipotle burrito. It's my cheat day.
Homo burrito.
Yeah. I was like, are you feeling like you want to have some E. coli? I'm just kidding. Nice. Who's your friend?
This is Herlin.
It's what?
You always get that.
Herlin.
Oh, I thought it cut out. Sorry. Ask me how everybody responds to his name.
What's your name?
Guyton?
Guyton?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway.
What's your name?
So let me tell you a story.
I like stories.
No, go ahead. Give me a
I
story.
don't have a story.
You got something.
It's Julie.
Julie?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Not bad.
Yeah, Harlan may have been in your neighborhood, catcalling you last night. You never know.
Seriously, that was really annoying. Yeah, there was these. Did you see my post, James, on Facebook? You went, it was Herlin, and it was you, Ron.
Yeah, it was me. Me and Herlin were driving around in a big old truck with large fake testicles hanging from the back, and we were just catcalling women. That's what we do in our free time.
Now, see, you guys were sharing a itty bitty, like, it's not quite a motorcycle, but it was a little bit bigger than like a spree.
Like a moped?
Yeah. Yeah. So they were riding down the road, and I was coming home from work. And, you know, after 5 hours straight of listening to beginner piano and violin students, kind of want to get home, right? These idiots. They kept the guy in the back kept turning around, and he was like talking to his buddy, and then we stopped at a light, and they were like, "Hey, lady, blah 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 blah," and I was just like, seriously. So then we started driving, you know, the light turned, so I started going, and then they slowed down and got behind me, and then they followed me for a while.
Yeah, it takes a lot of balls to catcall someone on the back of a Vespa, you know?
That's what I'm saying. I wanted to be like, I have kids. What is wrong with you? Go home.
Go home to your mother.
Exactly.
For you.
Risk your life. Oh.
From what I hear, they were a couple though.
Yeah, they were large. But anyways, I'll leave you boys to your show. I'm going to bed. I have a big weekend.
All right. Good night to you.
Was I speaking to Harlan? Are you eating Chipotle?
Huh?
Are you? That doesn't look like a burrito.
I'm eating my Oreos that they dripped me on, like 8 Oreos. I opened up the box. Look at this. I've only eaten 1 Oreo, and look how much are missing.
What?
You know, I've eaten 1 freaking Oreo.
That's not even symmetric. That's like they took a bunch of them out of one sleeve.
What's this company called? Sealed?
Nabisco.
Oh no, that says sealed. That's just the label.
He's such a...
You're cute.
I don't know. This company gypped me though.
Nabisco.
Oh no,
Pretty salty.
Yeah.
No.
So it's
They I made a point about
everybody.
such and such cookies.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yep.
Well, do you eat your Oreos with peanut butter?
That's disgusting.
Have you tried it?
No, but I don't like peanut butter.
Oh, you don't like peanut butter?
I love milk though. I bet you I could finish my gallon of milk in that fridge before this video thing's
We've
done.
done that challenge before, actually.
Hey, challenge right now. You're on camera. We'll know.
You're on the clock.
I've seen him drink 3/4 of a gallon of milk in like
For it.
15 minutes, and he... Did you throw up after that?
No.
For it.
Challenge accepted.
Something.
You don't need a glass. You're gonna drink the whole thing.
Oh, we can be.
This is only 2 cups right here. This is 2 cups. Just throwing it out.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you do get bonus points if you puke on air. By the way, that would be. I don't think we've had.
So what if I puke on him?
Don't puke
Does
on
that
him.
give me? If I puke on him, is that extra bonus
Oh,
points?
man, just-
I think that's triple points.
Oh, don't hurt yourself, please.
Oh no, I love milk too much to hurt myself.
I was like, it doesn't matter how much you love it. It's still, it's not good for you.
No,
I know plenty of people that love tequila a lot, but
tequila's good too.
You boys have fun tonight.
Oh, he's gonna have lots of fun with me.
Fucking A, man.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Hang out with some weird people, James. I mean, look at who you're talking to. You got Ron, and you got the husband.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right.
hey,
Enjoy.
maybe you should stay on.
I'm tired. I got a lot of things to do this weekend.
I want some cookies and milk.
Yeah. Later.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of didn't get through introductions, so I'll go next. I'm ronderman on the app, and today I wore some flip-flops.
Oh, yeah.
So 95 degrees here in North Carolina, so we went with the flip-flops. Yep.
James, Julie wishes you a happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
What's his anniversary?
A year and a half.
Dude, that was like 4 days ago. You guys are like 4 days late, man.
Yeah, she is more acutely aware of other people's anniversaries than anyone I've ever met. It's pretty incredible.
I only know their anniversary because I was with him when he asked his girlfriend to be his girlfriend. Do I know how he did it? He sucked helium out of a balloon and said, "Will you be my girlfriend?"
That's awesome. If you end up proposing to her, you should totally repeat that.
What?
If I propose to her, I don't know.
You should.
We'll see. I love how he did that, but we'll see.
If you do, you should definitely repeat the helium thing. It'll be
What are the questions you guys?
awesome.
I don't know. We'll be seeing.
Oh, people ask you guys questions?
I'm Firefly 5 on the app. I'm Guyton in real life, and today I wore feathers. What's that?
Where's my milk at? Hey, I lost my milk. Oh my goodness. Hey.
Oh, I'm hungry and I was gonna eat, and once upon a time I told Susan R that I don't open bananas by the top or the bottom, and she had said something about putting it on Instagram, and I didn't have Instagram then, so.
That is.
And then you just eat both halves. It works really well with young kids too, because you can give half a banana to each of them. They tear in half pretty.
How we open this banana?
That is crazy. You're not even American.
Did he like deep throw his banana?
No,
Like,
he opens it by.
but here's a problem with that. Your banana's
crushes.
When I eat my banana, when I eat a banana, I like to look like I'm deep throating it.
Yeah,
So I have to open it normal.
Well, then you'll want to break it closer to one end than the other, I guess. I don't know.
I like that response. See, they're fun. You just want
I muted him for a second.
Well, I'm gonna have to try that with my next banana. I've never heard of or seen such shenanigans. So
It's convenient. Usually if I'm peeling a banana, it's either to give to or to put in a shape, and then it's got to be broken up anyway. So it works well. All right, so we have some questions, right?
Yeah.
Fetching comments. All right. Hammer and Sickle says, which bands or singers did you grow up listening to? James, why don't you go first?
Does it still count if I'm still listening to them?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I'm still listening online too.
Well, I had a mom who used to always listen to alternative music, 90s alternative, so that really stuck with me. Love Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins, can't get enough of them. Going to the Blink-182 concert in August when they come to Cleveland, so.
I don't think I realized they still toured.
Yeah, they just released a new album.
No kidding.
Is it all the same guys?
I think so. Pretty sure. I know they split off and did their own thing for a little bit, but I think
wasn't their drummer like burnt over 90% of his body or something?
Travis Barker, Blink-182. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, after the concert, let us know. I mean, like if he's still wrapped up in playing, the drums, that'd be pretty interesting, right? So. How about you, Guyton? What did you grow up listening to overseas?
I listen to, I mean, a lot of stuff, I guess. But once I was, I guess, picking out my own music, I listened to a lot of Pearl Jam. Um,
I was gonna say, how pissed is your manager?
Yeah, Harlan's not distracting at all, just for the record. You
uh,
They're loud. I mean, I'm sorry.
Pearl Jam and Foo Fighters. I guess a lot of that kind of, a lot of the 90s grunge. Um, and then, I don't know, that and trumpet bands. So, kind
What
of
was
like
the
that. What's that?
What was the last one you said?
I listen to a lot of old trumpet jazz.
Folk trumpet jazz.
So like Dizzy Gillespie and Davis and um, all about that. So both both sides, I guess.
Yeah, Pearl Jam and Dizzy Gillespie. I mean, those are two names that I totally expected to go together tonight.
But I would totally go see that show.
The Blink-182.
No, Pearl Jam and Dizzy Gillespie.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
fantastic.
Is Dizzy still around? I thought.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he doesn't play a whole lot anymore. I don't think. No. See, what did I grow up with? See, I was like a different generation. You know, Michael, Prince. I guess the on the rock side was Guns N' Roses. In the later years, in the earlier years, it was more Rat. You know, monster ballads type of stuff. If you guys are familiar with monster ballads, basically the old '80s music. That's like my wheelhouse. Love that stuff. So
80s music.
yeah.
Some Boy George in there.
I was never a real big Boy George fan. However, I am familiar with the music, but no, he wasn't on my must listen to list. Didn't buy any of his music. Do you like the AC/DC? You know, that still gets turned up. As a matter of fact, my 7-year-old loves AC/DC.
Yeah.
So I bought the Iron Man album, which had a lot of AC/DC on it, and so to him, it's not AC/DC with Angus Young and all them. It's Iron Man. So, you know, when he hears Back in Black or any of that stuff, it's all Iron Man is what's in his head. But he'll walk around church, you know, singing "You Shook Me All Night Long," because you know that's what we do in the Baptist church, right?
I think so. Did you listen to Outkast at all?
I listen to Outkast.
I think it's fantastic.
Roses and whatnot. Miss Jackson. Oh, I love Miss Jackson. I used to do my favorite song when I was little.
Yeah, Janet was the first concert I went to. It was the Control, I believe, the Control album. But no, I didn't listen to much Outkast.
They were great. Outkast and A Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
There was a whole era there where you were kind of splitting genres, and it was fun. Let's see. Have you ever been outside of North America?
Yes, plenty of times.
Where have you been?
Been to Cambodia, Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, Vietnam. Just traveling with family. Silence that. But yeah, a couple times.
So your family just up and goes to Vietnam first, you know? What
We'll-
are you
we'll
doing today? Let's go to Vietnam. Okay, let's go to Vietnam.
I wish it was like that. That'd be nice, but we usually do summers. So we all go to Cambodia, for a summer. Go see family over there, visit, that sort of thing.
That's cool.
I don't know, you Guyton, have you ever been outside of North America?
Not ever.
No.
Nope. Yeah, I mean, uh, I was born outside of North America, and um, I lived in Belgium. I lived in England. Um, and when we were in Europe, we traveled around a lot. Um, I traveled around more than my parents, which is a strange sort of thing, but because I was young, but so it is. Um, when I was in high school, I went to Australia for a summer, and that was really cool. Australia, New Zealand, and that was a great trip. I had a lot of fun with that. So, yeah, traveled around a bit. How about you, Ron?
Yeah, I've not traveled that much. I went to Moscow for a couple of weeks. I don't know, about 10 years ago. I was really close to going to Cuba
That'd be fun.
around 12 years ago, but that got canceled like a week and a half before I went. I was really bummed about that. Um, Niagara Falls technically is outside of, well, no, that's still North America. I don't know, is Jamaica North America?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I guess Moscow is the only time I've ever been outside North America. So, but that was a fun trip. So
Moscow would be fun.
got to go see St. Basil's and Red Square and got thrown out of the Kremlin. That was fun.
it'd be really cool. I'd like to see Moscow. I wouldn't want to necessarily, spend a huge amount of time there, but I think it'd be a cool place to see.
Yeah, it's the Kremlin's is in Red Square. That's a good afternoon. You know, um, really pretty. St. Basil's is right there. Lenin's tomb's right there. It's all within
Spend a huge amount of
2 or 3 city blocks. But
Yeah,
it's there's a lot of history there. So it's really cool to have all the history. But Russia itself is just kind of dirty and drab, and honestly the most beautiful part of Russia that I saw was the subway system.
Yeah, I heard that's actually very intricate and well laid out.
Yeah, what we were told by our tour guides was that when they built the subway system, they spent a whole lot more money on it than they would normally have because they figured all of the dignitaries and all the people visiting would be going through the subway. So all the money was spent there in the government areas of the Kremlin, in St. Basil's, and then in the subway. So the subway is beautiful, but above ground, not so much.
Hmm.
So at least that was my experience. So
Let's see. How many signers of the Declaration of Independence can you name? I was wondering what would be the best way to answer this question, to just have everyone go in order until we stop coming up with names.
I could name like 3.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I won't know that many, but I'm pulling it up right now so that we can at least check our answers. So, I mean, you've got John Hancock, right?
John
That's
Hancock,
easy.
John Adams, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson.
Sam Adams.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
There was someone Carroll of Carrollton. I forgot his first name, but his last name was Carroll, and then he had to specify that it was of Carrollton. I remember that from U.S. history once upon a time. Junior year of high school. Could be wrong on that. It's 13 years ago.
Let's see. I'm trying to find a good list.
No. Ben Franklin, did we say him already?
Yep, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, all on there. Was Washington on there?
No.
He didn't sign?
What?
I would expect him to sign.
Yeah, where was Washington?
I don't know. I used to know a few of them. There was a guy who was 26. I remember that. I don't remember who he was, but he was 26.
Okay, it appears that there were 56 signers. Let's see.
We named like 7.
Yeah, isn't that
Not
sad?
10?
There's a James Smith, John Adams, Sam Adams, John Hancock, Josiah Bartlett. So I don't know if anybody's watched West Wing, but the president in West Wing was named Josiah Bartlett after the sign of the independence. Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, I don't think we did so well as a group.
No, John Witherspoon.
About half an hour.
I remember that name, but that's it. Everybody else are people that I've never heard of. God, where was Washington? Why wasn't he signing that? I guess he made his name in the Revolutionary War, which was after the signing. So.
Yeah, I guess that's true. British guy asks, what was your favorite subject at school and why?
Well, I'm not sure if gym class counts, but other than gym class, it'd probably be social studies. I loved maps and geography and that sort of thing. I've always liked that.
Yeah, school and I never really bonded, so I know that kills you, Guyton. But really didn't have a favorite subject in school. I wanted to get through, and when I left, I told them to turn the lights out because I'm not coming back. So it prepared me to be a stay-at-home dad. So yeah, my wife totally loved school, straight A's, straight through medical school, and so I'm glad that she did because I'm hoping to never go back. So if I were to go back now, I'd probably say history because I love history, but what can you do with history? So
My favorite, I don't know if I had a favorite subject. My favorite couple classes that I took. In college, I took a history of the scientific revolution class. I thought that was really interesting. I had a history of philosophy class in high school that I really liked. I had, what was it, a creative writing something or other class that I thought was really fun. I don't know. I took a lot of math and science, obviously, but for a long time I didn't. Well, like in high school, especially, I didn't really enjoy them so much as they were something that I was good at and that I knew I could do stuff with. And so I just took them, and then I started taking, what was it, chemistry, and I did really like chemistry. So that was kind of all over the place.
I guess my favorite classes may have been public speaking. I really enjoyed that. I had a good time.
Not me.
Yeah.
Erlen, you like public speaking, don't you?
Why?
Ron likes public speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that. I mean, I can do it. It's just like anxiety. A little bit of anxiety kicks in with it.
Anything? I don't know why. Just a.
He muted it. He heard you know why and muted it. That's fantastic.
Muted, so we're back.
No, I had a public speaking class in high school, and I did like that. We had a debate class too, and I took that, and it was fun. I don't know. That's all over the place. British guy, we just did that. Mean Brett asks for your favorite song by the Baha Men.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for that one. I can't think of who the Baha Men were.
I have no idea who they are. Are. Could be anything. Kind of weirds me out that it's Baha with an H, but
Baha did Who Let the Dogs Who Let the Dogs Out.
mm,
Would have to be my favorite one then.
Yeah,
yep.
that's pretty much the only one I can think of. So,
Yep. Did they do any other songs that we might know?
um, songs. Let's see. There are a lot of songs, but none of them appeared to have eclipsed Who Let the Dogs Out. So, I'm gonna stick with Who Let the Dogs Out.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, it looks like they had several albums, but
Okay.
including Junkanoo and Mash de Roach. And Who Woke Snow White Up, and that's nice. So, yeah, that's they appeared to have 6 albums. See, right there. There they are.
Okay.
You are welcome to go purchase any that you would like. Oh, one of them is the greatest movie hits from the Baha Men.
Maybe they do movie soundtracks. That's probably where they made their money then.
There you go. They got one on Scooby-Doo, Malcolm in the Middle, Miss Congeniality, Rat Race, My Father the Hero. Wow. Of course, that album had Who Let the Dogs Out on it like 3 times. So I think they know where their money is.
They really want to know who it was.
Yeah, they do. Well, someone please tell these people who let the dogs out.
Connecticut Yankee last week had a question. Who do you enjoy debating most on Show of Hands?
Debating. Nobody really debates with me. Kind of bummed about that. Maybe I don't comment or post enough, but not many people. I don't really have a person that pushes my buttons and opposes me, I guess, so to say.
Like a nemesis.
Nemesis.
I don't know. I've run into Cite the Source several times. It used to be how do you pronounce it? Rodoval.
Roosevelt.
Yeah. I mean I butted heads with him a lot in the very beginning, but he just sort of disappeared on us. But I always enjoyed getting into it with him. But I kind of have butted heads with Glock more than anybody else, probably as a total of times.
Oh man, that guy.
So
Um,
we have a lot of the same beliefs, but we don't agree on how to express them. We'll put it that way. And so he hadn't done it in a long time, but he'd be pretty blatant and upfront with someone, and I'd ask him to back off, and then we'd get into it. But
I used to debate him a lot. Him and Cowboy, I used to debate a lot, and then I just don't anymore. It was never really particularly good debate. It was just like, I don't know. It felt more like just kind of waiting for your turn to speak. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
As far as actual back and forth intelligent debate, the list is a lot shorter. But I think I've had the longest, best debates with Milk Dud.
Mm.
And he's an intelligent guy who knows what he thinks and has enough capacity to actually express it too. So he's fun to debate, and it doesn't turn to name calling, which makes it a lot more fun. It seems like it's an actual conversation. Um, I think once upon a time, Ron, you and I debated, but it would have
Yeah,
been.
I probably just gave up pretty quickly.
Well, I was going to say it would have been long ago and
Yeah.
not heated. So I don't know. I'm a pretty calm debate person. Um,
Yeah,
I,
I had a good debate with Hammer and Sickle this past week
hmm,
over religious differences. That was fun. But yeah, I don't do a whole lot of heated debates either. It's just not fun. You start name calling and I'm out. You weaken your position. So
mhm. um, MJ Seals is my self-proclaimed nemesis. He took on that title one day, and we've had some pretty good debates too over over a while. But it's been a good long while. I think we just I don't know. We have
I
differing opinions, but
I always enjoy watching people call you on nitpicky stuff on your science polls. Like people that are challenging you on your science polls. Those are always fun for me.
I like it too. I really do. And sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they're less good, but you know. Um, Jenna from last week asks, well, let's go with that one first. What's the worst thing to happen to you in a vehicle?
The worst thing to happen to me in a vehicle. I don't know. I've never had any major accidents. I've had several close calls. Um, I probably the I don't know, the thing that caused the most damage was when my wife hit the side of the garage. That was fun. Um, Mainly it was fun because it was a company car and I wasn't the one driving. But uh, I don't know. How about you, James? It sounded like you, or it looked like you had a good story.
Yeah, yeah. I've been in a car accident in an ambulance at work. That was not very fun. We had a patient in the back too, so that made things even better. But a drunk guy, he hit us when he was coming over a hill. So he actually totaled the ambulance. He hit us in the front left while I was waiting to turn left, and yeah, that was it. My partner got hurt. He was out of work for about a month. I was okay. I was driving. He was in the back. But our patient, he ended up being fine. He was all strapped down
Hmm.
and whatnot.
Wow.
How hard do you have to hit an ambulance to total it? I feel like those things are tanks.
Yeah, it's a tank. The guy was moving. He was in a Honda Accord, which made things, a little odd. But
That's
he was going pretty fast. So it was an old ambulance. You gotta remember that. But who knows?
yikes. Um, I've been in a couple car accidents when I was younger, but they weren't catastrophic. Um, I once got hit. I was walking, and I once got hit by a medical supplies van. And that was as beautifully ironic as it could be. I mean, it wasn't going more than 10 miles an hour. It was in an alley behind the work or behind the place I used to work. I was walking from work to the bank, so it wasn't going any kind of fast. But I appreciated the irony of being hit by a medical supplies van.
Now back when I worked, I was an adjuster for an insurance company, so I investigated car accidents and I saw lots of bad accidents. Um, One guy was riding a Harley and some teenagers backed out of a driveway and hit him, and the point of impact was his foot. And
Ooh.
so when they took his boot off, his foot had burst from the pressure because it had just swelled so much. And so a part of his foot had to be removed because it had died. I've seen airbags tear fingers off. I've seen cars really actually sheared in half. But I've been lucky. Nothing for me. So James, were you a paramedic at that point?
EMT, yes sir. Still am.
Well, you just got all kinds of stuff in your resume, don't you? How old are you?
19, so.
Wow.
You make me feel like I'm lazy.
Yeah. I just started young, that's all.
That's cool. Would you rather visit the North Pole or the South? The North Pole or the South Pole?
Yeah, I'm gonna need some education on that. Other than Santa Claus, what's the difference? They're both really cold, right?
Yeah, they're both really cold. The South Pole, you have to go over a lot more land to get there. The North Pole, there may or may not be ice right where you need to be. And I'm pretty sure there's usually ice, but it's a lot less. Like, Antarctica is a giant ice mass.
Mm-hmm.
The Arctic is more. It's less one giant mass and more a big conglomeration of ice islands. You know what I mean?
So it's possible that I wouldn't even need to get out of the boat at that point, right?
You might not be on solid ground, but you might be. I don't know for sure. I just know it's a lot more broken up.
I think are you one to be seen actually went over the pole in a sub? Is that right? Or under the pole or something like
Near
that?
it, either way.
Yeah, it had to do some type of strange ritual with taking a shot out of some hairy guy's belly button or something, if memory serves me correctly. That was a good story. Wish I could remember that, but I think I woke up screaming a couple times that night after he told me that story. So. But
I would go with the North Pole. I want to see the Aurora Borealis, if that is there. That's on my bucket list.
You're in Cleveland. Have you seen the Aurora Borealis in Cleveland?
No.
Or I mean outside of the city limits, obviously, so that you can see.
No, I don't think we're north enough.
Oh.
I don't know. Not too
Where'd you
sure.
put it?
I'm not far north of you. I'm in the south part of Michigan, and we've seen it here a couple times. So I just didn't know if we were at the edge of how far south you could be, or.
It's Cleveland. We don't get anything special here.
Except last week.
Yeah, that'll be the last thing for a while.
well, yeah, you're good for 52 years, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, this question's a little bit late now, but Cavs or Warriors?
No. What is that?
Northern Lights.
Northern Lights are in Africa, or in fucking.
He's a dumbass.
No, they're in Alaska.
I can see them in Cairns.
We haven't been to Alaska. How would we have
No, I'm
seen the
saying-
Northern Lights?
Because we're Cleveland.
Cleveland, Alaska is all the way over there. You're like the
Yes.
people I do rants on Twitter.
Go away. Go away.
No, so Harlan, I live in Michigan, and I've seen him here.
See Northern Lights all the way in Michigan.
Yes.
How?
He's
I mean,
This doesn't make
it's not-
sense. They're in Alaska, though.
It's not just Alaska. It depends on the season and everything.
Really?
Yeah, they're just north of a certain latitude. You can start to see them.
I thought they were just like purely like in this one area in Alaska.
No, like if you go to Iceland, you can see them pretty much every day.
Iceland's not too north.
Iceland sounds kind of cool.
They have volcanoes. I kind of want to go there.
Volcanoes?
Iceland would be cool.
There's an island just off
Have you ever seen a volcano erupt?
Erupt? No. I've gone hiking in a volcano, but it was, I mean, very much a dead volcano.
I muted that before that got bad.
My volcano is about.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Remember that. Hey, why don't you?
What volcano did you hike in?
He's being an asshole because I signed him up for a gay website and he
Got dick pics.
yeah. So now he's trying to be mean back to me.
So I'm getting back. What's this whole live thing for?
Did you not get enough pictures? We can post your email address or something. I mean,
Oh man, he's savage. I like you. That is a savage statement. That was good. I like it.
James types in your phone number.
Huh?
What?
You just type in your phone number and have people say
Dude, that would be pretty savage. That would be, honestly. I would give you, that would be like the ultimate get back right there. That'd be fair. Hold on. Look what I got for me and James tonight.
What the night is young, so
Roommates are fun. And I haven't had a roommate in a long time. I think last time I had a roommate, I was 19. I might have been 20. And
yeah, I'm just glad that there was no internet, Facebook, any of that when I had a roommate. So
oh, he's a handful.
yeah, the worst thing my roommate ever did was sign me up to get on every single mailing list known to man. So when I got back from Christmas, I had about 150 things shoved in my mailbox, from erectile dysfunction stuff to feminine napkins to hair club for men. I mean, basically he got together over Christmas with a bunch of friends and just went through a bunch of magazines and called every 800 number they can find. But that's the worst that I ever got.
I had profs in undergrad who didn't seem to realize that when they posted their their email addresses and stuff in the syllabus, and then they were absolutely terrible to certain individuals and would single them out and just harp on them, that they would get signed up for all sorts of email newsletters and memberships to all sorts of things. And like it's what was that? What was that site that Anonymous hacked? It was the Have an Affair site.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, I remember what that was called. I forget what that was
It was
called.
a name.
Holly Madison, yeah.
Holly Madison. Yeah.
All right. So
So I hear. I'm not familiar with the website. I don't know anything about it, and that's my disclaimer.
I am relatively certain that half of the users on there were signed up by someone who was just pissed off at them. It's a guess.
Did you know anybody? I mean, did you actually know anybody that was on the website?
I probably, I don't know, I didn't look.
Yeah, I heard that my brother-in-law got caught on Holly.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was not a good weekend at our house.
So I guess here's a question that's kind of apropos right now. How do you feel about the action of having hacked that site and released the members, the list of members?
Kind of Wikipedia-esque, It's what's done in secret should be kept in secret. I mean, is it a crime to be on the website? No. Does it make you a bad person? Probably. I don't know. I didn't go on to see if I knew anybody either, but I know people that did.
Hmm.
So, what do I think about it being released? They probably had it coming to them, but like you said, I think a lot of the names on there were either fake names or pranks that people signed up for. So, what do you think?
Me or James?
Either. How about you, James? What do you think about Holly Madison names being released?
Good for anonymous. They shouldn't have been on that website. That's for sure. You're gonna be cheating on your spouse. Kind of had it coming to you.
Ask me a question. I'll make it appropriate too.
What do you think about the Holly Madison website,
No, what's the higher?
where all those people, like married people, go to cheat on their spouse?
Best.
That being hacked by anonymous and releasing all the names. What do you think about that?
Being hacked by anonymous?
Yeah.
Go anonymous.
Yeah. Right.
Those dickheads need to get freaking exposed. That's wrong to cheat. Look at this. I am given a very good answer.
That was very classy.
You did great.
Not thoughtful at all, but that's probably. I think anonymous deserves some applause, though. Would you agree? I think they do. That's wrong. You don't go and cheat on your spouse. You marry him. Yeah, you're gonna be stuck with the same dick or vagina for your life. You got to deal with it. All right. Don't cheat on him. Deal with it. You know. That's how I look at it.
Add the extra stuff into that.
They like it. They're.
Hey, we totally get it because we're stuck with the same ones. So we're there. So
They get it. They get it. They're good men. They're loyal.
Yeah, but if you love your wife, it shouldn't be a problem.
I mean, maybe your wife just doesn't give it to you. Like, look at Dana. She doesn't give it to me at all.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
All right, well, back to mute.
No, the whole anonymous thing, I'm kind of torn on. I want to be opposed to what they do, but I don't disagree with their causes. Like in general, I don't think somebody should be, hacking such and such and then releasing whatever. But everyone they've done so far, I've been like, okay, yeah, that's one that I'd be about. Yeah, good for you on that one. And I feel like it's hard because they keep going after the things that I would say would make my exception list. So
is that the group that said they were going to go ahead and release a lot of Hillary's emails?
They probably would.
Because there's some hacker or something, that, maybe Wikipedia, that said they were going to release the emails that the Defense Department's not releasing. So I didn't know if that was anonymous or somebody else.
There was some guy. I know there was some guy that claimed to have hacked her server. I don't know if it's true or not, but and I don't actually know much about it. I saw it kind of out of the corner of my eye while I was running. It was just on some TV somewhere. But I don't know. I want to disagree with what Anonymous does, but their causes have lined up with things that I'm in favor of them doing.
They do it for the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it.
It's kind of like Robin Hood. You don't want to support a thief, but it's kind of he's thieving for the greater good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
you don't want to support a thief, but you do want to support that thief.
Right, I can see that.
Yeah, it's a hard thing, and in any kind of legal sense, it's not a precedent you'd want to set. But in a case-by-case basis thing, I think they're doing good things. Plane train. What's it?
I was going to say, I found another question from Jenna a couple weeks ago. What
Yeah,
was
do
the
it.
first TV show you remember? So
Uh,
the first, James, the first TV show you remember.
First TV show that I can remember?
Yeah, for this we'll say, not Sesame Street or childhood
Um,
cartoons, like your first adult TV show.
Adult TV show.
That's for you probably last season of The
Yeah, I'm,
Blacklist.
I'm barely an adult, so I'm a '90s baby. Can I name something from that? From the '90s?
Go for
I
it.
remember.
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of Hey Arnold and Ed, Ed and Eddie. If you guys are familiar with it, those are my favorite.
Ed, and Eddie. Was that a cartoon or was that like a Disney thing?
It was a cartoon on Cartoon Network. The three dudes just trying to get money so they can get some jawbreakers. It's pretty stupid actually. Now that I watch it later, but I still love it. It's funny.
Yeah, it's amazing the cartoons that I watched back in the day just don't stand the test of time because uh, I'll let my kids watch like old vintage Transformers or GI Joe or something, and I'll just sit there and think, wow, I used to sit all day on Saturdays and watch this, and it's just bad. So
The new stuff is even worse. I can't watch any of the new cartoons.
yeah, so
um,
but
on Madge's recommendation, we tried Phineas and Ferb,
Phineas and Ferb's not too bad.
and that was good. Um, and my kids like Pokemon because they're, yeah.
I liked Pokemon a lot.
Hmm.
yeah, for some reason I've never been able to bond with the Pokemon. I've just maybe it's because I'm too old and I just don't understand it. Who knows? So, but at least I'm man enough to admit that I'm too old for Pokemon. Okay. One day maybe you guys will mature and not be Pokemon too. So, how about you, Gaijin? What's your first TV show you remember?
Bewitched.
Bewitched.
Ooh, that's vintage.
Uh,
Surely that was on reruns when you
yes,
watched it.
yes, very much. Um, but I used to not really be allowed to watch anything. But then I managed to get a TV up into my room somehow, and being that no one ever really came into my room, um, and I kept it in the closet, which made it a little easier. I would watch old TV, and then one day, one day it became a thing to where my mom knew I had it, but then it was kind of too far gone, so it was like, yeah, whatever. It was just something we didn't talk about. It was just like, sure, who cares?
So you smuggled an old TV into your bedroom.
Hmm.
See, now that's one of the things that the youth of today can't
Yeah.
comprehend. So, because you gotta buy cable boxes and stuff. Yeah, how big was this TV?
It was it was probably like current shoulder width.
Did it have the really fat back?
I mean, it was probably about this deep. It was heavy.
Yeah, it probably weighed like 50 pounds.
It was really heavy when I was younger.
Where did you get a TV?
Garage sale.
And how old were you at this time?
I was young. I I was not a good kid.
But it sounds to me like you were really good at being a kid. So, uh,
I was really good at being a kid. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, didn't you tell me once you stole the car and went and watched a movie or something and then successfully got the car back?
Those were separate things. The movie I walked to, but yeah, the movie theater was less than a mile from my house. I could walk there.
Awesome. Yeah, I would shoot my kids if they did any of that stuff, for the record. So
No, no, you wouldn't. You would shoot your kids if you found out they did any of that stuff.
that's a true story. I would shut it down. I would. Wow, that's fun. I guess the earliest TV shows that I remember, Dukes of Hazzard, uh, Buck Rogers, the original Battlestar Galactica,
Mhm.
um, good 1970s disco influenced TV. So yeah,
So
I know, it's so bad. We had a black and white TV for a long time while I was growing up. I remember our first VCR. I remember our first VCR was cool because it had a remote. Now it was not cordless. It had a cord that attached to the VCR. But yeah, I remember that. I remember the first week that MTV came on.
Hmm.
It actually played music back then. That was nice. Um, so yeah, Chips was a good TV show back in the day. Um, yeah, those were my favorites back then.
I remember um, Bewitched when I was young. Um, the X-Files. I like the X-Files a lot. I haven't gone back and tried rewatching as an adult, mostly because I'm afraid I would be horribly disappointed.
Did you watch any of the reboot that came out this past year?
Mm-mm. Nope. Again, same thing. It was a good show um, for the age I was and at the time that I was watching it, and I don't know how good its rewatch value or any of that would be. Um, but X-Files, The Jeffersons. Um, I watched old shows, and then there was BattleBots. Do you
Oh,
BattleBots,
yes.
BattleBots was cool.
That was really fun. Like I think that's the reason that anyone roughly my age has ever gone to coach a robotics team anywhere.
Well, and they got a new season of that coming out soon too, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that.
Yeah, my 11-year-old loves watching BattleBots.
Uh, so what else do we have? Do we have more Jenna questions?
And that's the only one that I don't remember answering back then, but we can throw something in. You just won tickets to see any band or artist, deceased, broken up, current, all of them count. Who do you see and why?
I'm sorry, I missed part of that question.
So you just won free tickets to go see a concert to any band, musician, anything throughout history. So alive, dead,
Who
who do you go see?
do I see? My girlfriend is going to be pissed at me for saying this because she likes Elvis, but I'm going to say Michael Jackson because I think he's way better. Can't go wrong with King of Pop, right?
Yeah, that would be that would be probably in the top five. You know, maybe the Beatles, even though I'm not a big Beatles fan. You'd have to go with some of the legendary acts: Elvis, Michael, Beatles. I was never a Stones fan, so but they would probably be put in there. How about you, Guyton?
I remember answering this question a couple weeks ago because we all talked about whether the Beatles or Elvis or whatever would be good to see. It was when Sidwell was on.
Yep.
Um, but I remember saying it would be cool to go see Jimi Hendrix. Julie said Itzhak Perlman because she's classier than I am.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think I can come up with a better answer than those.
Yeah, I think my someone that week said Michael Jackson, and I went through the story of watching the Mexican tribute lip syncing band of Luigi Jackson, who I saw recently, who didn't quite translate. It wasn't quite that good, but yeah, I remember that one too. Okay, so I'm on a different week again, Jenna. Let's see. Have you ever been to an opera or a Broadway show?
Yeah, I've seen a couple Broadway shows here in Cleveland at the Playhouse Square. I've seen Lion King, Wicked, Jersey Boys, some one I saw with my mom on about some people on a boat or something. I don't remember. It wasn't that good, but I've seen a handful.
We went to DC, not DC. We went to New York 14, 15 years ago and saw Les Mis, Chicago, and Evita, all in like a weekend. That was a good weekend. But and then we saw Lion King in Charlotte several years later. That was cool.
No.
We saw Lion King, and that was really much better than I was expecting. And then Phantom was Phantom.
Yeah, I'd love to see Phantom. I've never seen Phantom.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a really good one. They did a movie adaptation of it within the last handful of years, and it's funny. They had what's his name from 300,
Butler.
Butler,
Butler.
plays him and actually does the singing, which I was really surprised to find out.
Was he good?
Yeah. Yeah, it was really impressive. I had a question that I wanted to ask, and I only got to the first half of it. It kind of came from my daughter was watching a movie earlier today because my older two were away, and so my younger one wanted to watch My Neighbor Totoro, and she was watching it in Japanese. And I guess my question would have been something along the lines of, have you ever or would you watch a movie that's entirely in a language you don't understand, and could you enjoy it?
I mean, I've done it before, so you get the gist of it. But
I've watched some. You know, when back in my day, you know, it was really cool to watch old Japanese martial arts films. So they were either dubbed or you'd have to read the subtitles. They were terrible movies. But my son has latched onto some type of Mexican Spanish type of cartoon, and he has been watching that movie for like 5 or 6 times over the past 2 days. Still have no idea what it is, and he doesn't read that well, so I don't know that he's getting the gist of it, but he's really taken with it. But The Passion of the Christ, the Mel Gibson film, was completely subtitled. That was a phenomenal film. So I don't mind it. My biggest problem with that is I can't do show of hands or something else on the internet while watching / listening to the movie. You gotta actually read the movie.
No, I do subtitled movies quite a bit, but this copy that we had was just in Japanese. It wasn't subtitled. It wasn't dubbed. It was just Japanese audio, and that was it. but she sat there and she liked it. You can totally follow the whole story, really. So I thought it was cool.
Now, I have seen when I was in Russia, when I was in Moscow, we took a tour bus somewhere, and they played the Born Identity in Russian with English subtitles. So I've kind of done the opposite. I've seen an American film in Russian with English subtitles.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I have done that.
I was staying. I don't remember where I was staying. I was staying somewhere and I watched Fight Club that was in, I think, French. The audio was French, and the subtitles were something. It was an alphabet that I didn't recognize. It was, yeah, it was an alphabet that I didn't recognize. So I thought that was interesting. But you know, it's like one of those things you've seen a few times, so you kind of know what's going on anyway.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you speak French?
Uh, no, nope. I'll go with no. Um,
Sure.
I I can do a little bit, but I can understand it pretty well written. Um, but it doesn't. I'm not great with it.
Yeah, I don't remember anything from French class. 2 years out the
That
drain. I mean,
that was a complete waste of a large portion of my life too. Yeah.
should have took Spanish, that's for sure.
Agreed. Agreed. My kids have taken 4 or 5 years of Latin in like before they hit the 6th grade. So, and then they'll be taking Spanish in high school. But yeah, French was a complete waste of time. So, I got a question. If you had to choose between being stranded in space or on a deserted island with no chance of rescue, but you had adequate supplies,
Hmm.
States.
I'd have to go with space too,
see, I would go with the desert island. Why would y'all go space?
so I can see new things. Yeah.
Okay, but okay, space is like huge and vast, and you could be all by yourself with nothing but blackness for decades and not see anything.
Or you could get stuck on an island and get bored of the same thing over and over.
Well, that's true, but you get a sunrise every morning, you get a sunset
Yeah.
every night, you know?
Who knows? I could stumble across some, new galaxy or something.
You
But
know, in space, the sun never goes down.
yeah, could find
So
aliens. Who
what?
knows?
Yeah, yeah. You could run into uh, uh, some exotic new alien life form who decides that they need to check you out.
Assuming adequate supplies means including enough to block out the radiation and not, die real quickly. Um,
Yeah, I would assume that.
to where you could just live indefinitely until,
Till
you
old
know,
age sets in. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely space. Because the whole darkness thing, yes, yes, there are very, very large portions of space that are very dark, but you really have to get pretty far out from where we are. And at any kind of speed that you could be going, um, really at any kind of speed you could reasonably be going, you're not going to get out that far before you die of old age if that's what happens to you.
So what would day in and day out in space be? I mean, because you're not going to get. Chances are you're not going to get that close to any planets, right?
Uh, it's depends on how you're drifting.
Zero gravity would be fun too.
No, that is true. Zero gravity would be fun. I don't know. I just feel like out in space, every single thing is trying to kill you. You know, it's just you go outside the ship and everything's trying to kill you. I mean, I've seen the movie Gravity. I know how reality works. Actually, that was a terrible, terrible movie. But you know, it's the only thing I had in my back pocket. So, what you got? You got one more question, Daichi?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm asking if you have one.
I don't.
That would have been a good last question had we just had that prepared as the last question. Let me go to one more week back, see if I can find. One more question. Okay. Do you think you could consume a whole chicken or roughly the equivalent of a whole chicken in one meal?
For me, for sure. I've had plenty of eating contests with Herlin, so chicken is no problem.
Yeah, something tells me that Herlin wouldn't have any problems.
Yeah, I've seen that guy eat like 2 whole, fully loaded Chipotle burritos, no problem,
And wash it down with a whole gallon of milk. By the way, how'd he do on his milk?
exactly.
Did he?
I know he had a couple more glasses. He might be halfway done with that actually. And that's just him drinking normal. He's a crazy one.
So what does he do in real life? What is he a student as well?
Yep, he's a student and a waiter at Applebee's.
Well, there you go. How about you, Gaitin? Could you eat a whole chicken?
How big a chicken?
Well,
No. There was a time, yes, but and maybe in the colder months.
when you're trying to pack on the weight, like a walrus.
It's just it gets hot and sticky, and I feel like the hotter it gets, the less appetite I have.
Yeah, I think when I was 19, James, I could probably have eaten a whole chicken.
Yeah.
But those days are gone. I couldn't do it. So
Chicken's not too bad.
Well, and I think I would have a hard time eating just chicken.
Yeah. Maybe if it's like something else.
give me some good gravy or something with the chicken. Maybe we could pull it off, but yeah, I have to prepare. So, but it looks like we are out of questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess we shall say good night to any who might be watching tonight. So, good night. We might see you next week. I'm on vacation. Don't know if I'll be around, but we'll let you know.
Cool. Good night.
See you
Bye.
guys.
Yep.
All right. Good night.